Hey, what's up ladies and gentlemen, I'm Duffy Dog here once again, and I'm back from the Muxy Toys, and welcome back to my last play of Marbles Balance Challenge for the Nintendo Wii. So last time we actually did finish up Stomp Temple, which is the last main world of the game, and we actually got every single green crystals in the normal mode of this game. And then, that's all we can do about it. And besides that, we actually beaten all 10 of these levels in total. So, today, this is going to be the extra video, so that, even then, I won't be tackling through hard mode, but, this is what happens if you unlock hard mode. That, you're actually going to be find some ants. And then I think you might actually find a grand total of 100 of them. So, basically, I'm probably not going to be tackling from hard mode. It's just basically the same. You travel from the same worlds as before, but except the only difference is that you need to find a different certain amount of items, like the 100 ants that you need to find, and 2, the level layout is actually quite different compared to normal mode, and especially the easier mode. So, just want to mention that anyway. Sorry for that little sigh right there. So that's because I'm just literally quite worn out of breath of mine. So yeah, today was actually Happy Easter everybody, so I just want to let you guys know that, because I've actually got some quite an amount of gifts from the holiday this Easter today. So first of all, I got myself 2 new amiibo, specifically 2 new Super Smash Bros. Ones that has been released 9 days ago, at least in England countries, or in this case in Europe. That I've now got both Ryu and Roy. So yeah. So now all I need left is just basically I need to get the last 3 DLC character amiibos, which there are the Cloud and Corrin, and then finally perhaps the most recent last DLC character in the Super Smash Bros. Lineup is Bayonetta. So at least as far as I was expecting for that, you guys should know what I'm talking about, because according to, again, if you actually watched the final video presentation back in at the very end of 2015, that they're trying to develop the amiibos design for all the last 3 DLC characters, as far as I'm concerned from that. So yeah, let's go ahead and head into Candy Island, and we need to do, like, let's say about 9 levels in total in this place, because we already done 1 level from after we're actually going to do some side quests until we actually find ourselves some ship parts and stuff like that. So yeah, so I wonder how we can actually do in this place. So this is level 3 if I do remember rightly, and there's a Stomp Temple part, but again, you don't have to get these Stomp Temple parts in these extra worlds, because they're pretty much, well, underwhelming, especially if they don't count for the Stomp Temple parts collected. So at least as far as I'm telling you guys for that. So since this is going to be the extra video of this game, is that this is going to be the last part of this game's playthrough, so that I will about to move on to the next playthrough until sometime in next month or something, during sometime in April. So at least even then, that I was going to take a break on Super Mario Galaxy 2, because my god, that was such a big adventure I've actually managed to conquer through. So especially I was like super breeze or super expert at that, but I might actually go ahead and leave that leave the rest to complete Super Mario Galaxy 2 until during in summertime, so that even then, that I suppose Mickey Mouse will actually go ahead and do the remade playthrough of Super Mario 64 sometime in spring. But even then, that one day, or I don't know. And then, speaking of such, perhaps possibly, we might actually tackle the DS version of Super Mario 64, called Super Mario 64 DS. Now, you're probably thinking, well, why the heck do we want to do these 2 versions of the game? Because, simply put, these 2, compared to the N64 version between the DS version, is that between these 2 versions of Super Mario 64 is that it has some additional, some extra content. I think the DS version has more content than the N64 version, but I'll explain why until when some toys are about to be doing these particular playthroughs. Mainly Mickey Mouse will actually do Super Mario 64 again. So yeah, and look at that, I got a silver trophy on that level. Alright, so we're literally halfway done with level 5, or in this case, we're practically almost done with Candy Island pretty much, so we're pretty much halfway point, we're pretty much at the halfway point of this world so far, so as far as you guys can tell already what the Candy Island looks like, it's basically pretty similar to Candyland from the first game, but except that, you know, even then, the level layout is pretty much identical to the ones in the predecessor. Like, I think this level, for instance, is that it heavily based on Ring Ring from the first game, and then there's also another one like this in the one we get into later on. So, yeah, like we're basically going around and get onto these little ring platforms, and then just trying to go ahead and get these many orange crystals as you possibly can. So that's basically how this works. So yeah, I'm kind of stuck on that part, and I somehow flinked up like an idiot. So that's kind of stupid if you ask me, but that was usually my move. It's just a bit of a kind of mistake on this, and oh, at least I'm safe from here. And also, if you can tell already, much like the first Coral Ripper game, is that you can actually see this little Hudson Soft logos onto these chocolates. So that's pretty cool to actually see that, because after all, there's another series called the Bomberman that has also been made by Hudson Soft, and it's also that does it for Mario Parties 1 through 8. Advance and DS, because every now and then in Mario Party 9 and Island Tour, that they're moving on to what? Wait a minute. Which crystal I've missed? I need to backtrack a little bit, don't I? Oh, where are you, Crystal? Aha! I completely ignored it somehow, so let us see if we actually try and go ahead and grab it as much as we can. So, yeah. So yeah, it has been quite a few days since I actually got to come back to, like, well, I don't know. So anyways, enough about my nonsense conversation. So let's go ahead and finish this level already, because I seem to accidentally completely ignore the orange crystal entirely. So unfortunately though, there's no treasure we can grab. So yeah, let's move on to level 6. So we have ourselves a little bit of a jump ramp, running up to the ramp syndrome. So yeah, that's basically what we can do in that part. So not much to tell. So for this video, I will actually be tackling through every single extra world as soon as we actually can do this in one video, because fundamentally that we actually did done a whole lot of videos. We actually did done for over about 40 minutes at this point, because usually sometimes this always happens in our YouTube videos as far as we can tell. But we haven't go all the way up to 50 minutes, because that will actually take way too long into some like overstated welcome when it comes to dealing with just uploading videos and all that such. And there's a Stone Temple part, but I don't think I could grab that because, you know, it doesn't count for collecting all the Stone Temple parts. And I'll go a Bronze Trophy, at least if I was gonna not to fall off at the first try, and then I will grantedly go get the Silver Trophy as much as we can. So anyway, let's move on here. So though I guess a few things I just want to mention about something is that I've recently played Hyrule Warriors Legends for the 3DS recently, and I've got some progress onto it, and then what I think of the gameplay of it, I mean, it's pretty alright and such, even though it wasn't as good as the Wii U version of the game, because Wii U version has like much superior frame rate, because it only runs like 30 frames per second, but even then, if you actually play the new Nintendo 3DS, then it's perfectly fine. But the original 3DS, like I still have at this point, that so far that the frame rate itself is gone dropping quite a few bits, just like how it does it in the PAL versions of, let's say for instance, for example, in the PAL version of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time and the NTSC Ocarina of Time for the N64. So the PAL version, as far as the frame rate is concerned, that the PAL version only runs at 16 frames per second, which is much slower than the ones in the NTSC version. But the NTSC version, it was actually runs at 20 frames per second. I think that was what I was concerned of. But even then, luckily though, the 3DS remade version of that game was actually being in 30 frames per second, which I'm perfectly fine with, considering how, oh yeah, I actually got a gold trophy. How awesome is that? But yeah, I don't have a problem with Hyrule Warriors Legends as far as when that game, as far as I'm concerned of. But usually I just need to actually, although granted, the only problem I have with it is just the frame rate is actually dropping decreasingly. So it's a bit kind of reminds me of Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D, where in the Wii version of Donkey Kong Country Returns on the Wii, that was actually running at 60 frames per second, which is much more faster when you think about it. But the 3DS version only runs at 30 frames per second, so it's inexplicably a difference when it comes to frame rate, as far as I'm concerned of. And as well as not to mention Sonic Generations for both the Xbox 360 version and the PC version, is that the Xbox 360 version only runs at 30 frames per second, but the PC version of Sonic Generations actually runs at superior 60 frames per second. So I think that's the only differences between these two. So even then, I'd like to give the PC version of Sonic Generations a shot, but I need to get a PC console for the time. But I don't think I can do that on my laptop, because obviously I might actually end up trying to mess up with my computer, and sometimes if I play some PC games on my laptop, then it might temporarily crashes every time whenever I'm trying to play these. But anyway though, here we are at level 9 of Candy Island, so here we have some conveyor belts. And if you probably didn't notice already, is that when it actually flickers the light, which was assuming that what the hours is actually active, if you tilt the Wiimote, if it depends on which direction you'll be going, that will actually change those different directions of the conveyor belts as well. So that's usually kind of think of it, and well, just want to mention that out until just about right now. So alright, so there we go. And we got another gold trophy. So that's pretty fantastic actually. So at least I'm doing pretty well with Candy Island so far, except level 5, because sometimes I missed out one teeny weeny orange crystal around here. But nonetheless though, we're at the final level of Candy Island, and oh my god, there are a lot of bumpers in this level. So there's a lot of regular ones, a lot of dangerous red and black triangular ones, and because of that though, you don't want to get you don't want to mess around in this level, because much like, if you can tell, that much like the bonus stage from Super Monkey Ball 1, which was assuming that I think it's called the bonus grid on according to Super Monkey Ball Deluxe's name logic. So yeah, don't walk around too much of this level, because obviously you might constantly go back and forth between these bumpers, so you have to go through those quite literally carefully. So as a matter of fact, that it's, well, since this game is almost pretty similar to Super Monkey Ball, but except that you have to deal with motion controls and there's no jumping involved, although you can jump. But you wouldn't recommend doing it often, so because obviously you might accidentally just run into these other objects, like yeah, that bumper just somehow flinked me off there for no suitable reason. So this level can be quite tricky, especially if you're trying to do a speed run of this this stage, because obviously if you're trying to mainly get to the please don't you flipping trying to knock me off the level, please don't, thank you. Now I just need to jump all the way to the goal post, or in this case a goal portal. If they somehow this, oh no way. Anyways, let's try this again. Come on, bumpers. Why don't you give me a break? Jesus Christ. You... Okay, come on. I just want to get this well done until I move on to the haunted house. Because yes, I will be tackling through 3 extra worlds, including with just completing certain levels. So there we go. That wraps things up with Candy Island. So... and I believe every time when you're trying to complete that world in particular, you get yourself a recipe. So yeah, it's not much though to actually just kind of think about it, but now we move on to Haunted House. And as far as when completing those levels are concerned, there are 8 levels we have to complete. So since we actually complete these 2 levels already, because again, according to the you know, finding the ship parts, including the submarine parts, as far as we're concerned of. So here we go, on to level 2. So this level features Ice Rig. So basically we just have to maneuver around pretty gently for the most part, including those little narrow paths we can come across. So if that's the case, then we should just manage to... Oh god, I completely forgot about that part. Let's try again, shall we? So yeah, another thing I'd like to point out is that, as I mentioned earlier on, during the last episode of this, for this playthrough, is that recently I managed to saw, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic Season 6, premiere, which was Part 1 and Part 2, which was known as the Crystal Link, both Part 1 and Part 2, all in one day. Like, it was presumably it's on yesterday, which was, one day before the Easter time was actually about to come. So, but since this was Easter today, so, yeah, because usually that's what happens during yesterday. So, whenever I watched it, and I was pretty damn hyped, because for one, that Starlight Glimmer, which was assuming she was originally the villain of, Season 5, which was during last year, that, somehow she's now on the good side this time around, so she's not going to be doing some evil plans or evil schemes for the time being. At least I hope not. But, hey, it's glad to see we're actually going to be include her as the main, technically, possibly the main, character this time around, because we've now seemed to see all 7 of these main characters as far as I'm concerned. But I may be wrong on that, but I might as well find out during the later parts throughout the day. Or especially near the future or something like that, but, as far as when I see these 2 parts into one, it was pretty interesting, just like how it does it in, Season 5, because I was so damn hyped for the series has been still continuously going. It never seemed to end, so I'm glad about that. So, but hey, it seems I'm a brony after all, so, hey, I don't have to complain. So, yeah. Pretty excited, actually. So, I might actually decide to say that, I think the Season 6, as far as I'm concerned, I'm hoping that it might actually bring up some interesting things to note it off. But anyway, as far as for that episode is concerned, I actually really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed how, although I'm kind of disappointed there's no song included, which I kind of felt unfortunate about that, because you remember how the, although I think it also same applies to, the beginning of, let's say the beginning of, Season 4 so far, but, it's basically equivalent to that, but, even then in Season 5 of the show, that, it did have a song of that, as far as I'm concerned of, but, nonetheless though, that it couldn't seem redundant or missed opportunity. And I really like how it has the introduction to Baby Furry Heart, which is actually what the baby is actually called. Well, I won't spoil the ending for that episode if the brownies out there have not seen it yet, so don't worry, I won't spoil it for you guys, so at least you might see it for yourself, so, but at least it actually did show the name description of that during the, you know, the My Little Pony Wikipedia, so you guys, at least if you want to check that out, if you probably might as well not, or you might probably will, if you want to at least give it a shot. So, anyways, we're pretty much halfway done with Haunted House now, so I'm hoping this won't actually be twice as difficult as it used to be, so yeah, that's all the stuff I can really talk about today. It's just, it's pretty great for, today's standards. And then, as far as when the future plans for, the Easter holidays, as far as I'm concerned we're at the Easter holidays right now, that, I might actually start to go ahead and continue more on Hyrule Warriors Legends of mine, and then possibly I might actually go ahead and play on the Wii U version on my own time, because even then, as I said earlier, we were originally going to be doing a playthrough of that, but the processing of uploading these videos in the, specifically in the Roxo Video Wave, which is actually what the program we're using right now, that unfortunately that the processing trying to upload that takes flipping forever, especially if you're actually trying to set this on 1080p. Especially it might take out the gigabytes, way too many gigabytes off of you, so that's why I'm probably not going to be tackling Hyrule Warriors just for that, just because well, the megabyte system on the video capturing footage is just a bit too much. Especially consists of like Hyrule Warriors is just a really big game to complete. Especially there's like a lot of replay value to it. But don't worry, at least we're actually going to be tackling through these comparison videos sometime in the future, and sometime during summertime or possibly during spring. Oh wow, I actually got a gold trophy for that matter. Thank you very much, game, for actually just giving me some of these bunch of gold treasures to begin with. Or no, not treasure. Golden trophies for that matter. So yeah. Alright, here we go. I'm presuming this is level 8, and basically we have to go up to this little magnetic rail right there to actually get onto these other spots of the other side of the trying to get those orange crystals as we possibly can. So I think that's how the entire premise of this objective is concerned. So yeah, right off the bat there's actually a checkpoint just right over there. Now, as far as whenever, oh yeah, back into the Easter holidays I'll be planning through, that, I might actually go ahead and do it at my own time, and then once we actually record a lot of those videos during some time, that, we might actually go ahead and take a break on these uploading, or making videos for the time being, for, some of these days anyway, that I might actually go ahead and play some of the Legend of Zelda games on my own time, so yeah, expected to including Hyrule Warriors for both versions, because technically these two games are pretty much a spin-off to the Zelda series. So yeah, that's all I can say about this here. So, but at least I was trying to think of is that I would like to do a Zelda playthrough sometime in the future. So don't worry, I will get a chance to do one eventually. So yeah. Alright, level 9, where basically, in this level right here, we need to figure out the invisible pathways that we need to maneuver or come across. So, yeah, at least this level's not too bad, though, as far as I'm considered this. So, let's go ahead and just be very extra careful right there, because you don't want to accidentally choose the wrong side of, just, you know, trying to maneuver the level, pretty much. So, let's see how this goes, hey? So yeah, there's this little narrow path we can actually just maneuver about, so yeah, that's all we can just ever matters anyway. So let's go ahead and touch this, trying to grab that, and we can carefully maneuver here, and there we go. Pretty simple and easy to me. And let's see what trophy I could get. I guess silver trophy. If always I was becoming fast enough on that part. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. What do we have here? Level 10 of Haunted House. Now, obviously we got ourselves some springs we actually had to deal with. But since, as I said earlier, during the ocean treasure of this particular world, on that particular world, that once you actually hop onto those springs, like let's say about quite a few times, especially when you consist of trying to make it to the next section of the level, that you can't actually change directions in mid-air, because sometimes you don't have a little bit of a momentum. So yeah, the springs are back, unfortunately. So now we have to deal with these springs, but even worse performance. So this is by far one of my least favorite levels of the entire game, because it's not just a matter of trying to get into the level itself, but rather there are springs everywhere in this level, because you have no control over your marble as far as you're trying to actually go ahead and hop into these springs. Because no matter the fact that, for that part in particular, is that even then you can't actually bounce quite light, because sometimes if you flick the wheel mode like that, then oftentimes though you might actually fling above, or in this case really ridiculously high. And because of that though, you can't actually just try to go ahead and try and land it in its actual safety. So you're gonna have to be really damn precise on this little situations like these right here. So that is definitely the worst level of this game in my opinion, just because of these springs that are flipping everywhere. So, and sometimes though, you might actually waste your time in this level if you're actually constantly resetting yourself from that without even falling off the level, because yeah, you kind of see my yeah, I'm kind of felt pretty mad right now, because the springs are trying to fling me off, because sometimes if you're trying to accidentally go ahead and just like you know, it's way too much. It's way too many, emphasis on trial and error in this level, pretty much. So, I'm trying my best if I actually try to go ahead and try to complete this damn level as possible. But, unfortunately though, these springs will try to ruin my experience with it. But, at least, I'm pretty sure when we actually get into the city level, that, on this case, the rest of City World, that I don't think we can see these springs ever again. So, at least I'm hoping for that. So, let's see how this goes. Okay, let's see. God darn it! Stupid springs. Oh my god, what am I doing? Okay, come on. We just want to get this well done so that we can actually almost done with the game playthrough as far as we consider this. In fact, the time we're at right now, we're actually in 2 minutes right now, and then so far we have right now 3 minutes right now because, oh god, these springs. Why are these springs out there? Why should they have to be in this this thing in the first place? I mean, Jesus Christ. Alright, the last section we have to deal with these fans. Whew. There we go. Jesus Christ, I spent about 3 minutes in this level. Jeez, this is by far the worst level of the game because of this spring placements and all that. Because even that, if you somehow touch one of them, and you somehow fly above, and you might actually not get yourself a little bit of a turn back. So that's kind of a ridiculous and underwhelming at the exact same fashion and the exact same time. But anyway, that does it for that level, thank goodness. Okay, so now we're heading up to the last extra world of the game, and as far as the last world we'll be doing for this playthrough, and that was the city level. So the amount of levels we're about to be exploring in is there are 8 levels we're going to be exploring for this, just like how it does in the haunted house. So here we go with the second level of the city level. So yeah, as you can see, this level is actually pretty similar to the ones in the Coral Ripper game, which was called Ring Ring Ring, which I think that was actually based on level 36, if I remember rightly. Oh wait, scratch that, I think it's 26, so, because that's usually what that was actually based on from. Ah, darn it, my motion controls is doing pretty bad right now. But we're almost done with this game, folks, until we actually decide to go ahead and move on to the next playthrough. Even then, me and Twilight Sparkle are still continuing Banjo-Kazooie at this point, so at least I think the only point where me and Twilight Sparkle are actually in right now, I think we're actually at 3ZZ Pika at the moment right now, so at least even then though, we will come back into that eventually sometime in the, sometime in almost June and April time, so as far as when, well, that has been done, especially the next video afterwards, then I might actually go tackle something different, along with a different companion of mine. So, yeah, let's go ahead and to say this much. Alright, I'm assuming there's the next crystal right there, and the last crystal is just right over there, but I somehow accidentally got blown off by the fans, so that's pretty underwhelming, so we need to backtrack a little bit. Oh, darn it! Come on. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Oh, fuck. Sorry for the bit of a dialogue, messed up right there, but, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna have to do this the normal way, rather than just taking a shortcut. Oh, come on! Why are you just trying to give up on me right now, game? I mean, granted, this game is actually much more, has a massive improvement over the first game, but sometimes there's going to be some lot of trial and error annoyances involved. There we go, finally. Jesus Christ, 2 minutes and 20 seconds on that level. But yeah, at least much like it does in the, oh god, that dreadful 10th level in, well, the haunted house. Because, you know, too many springs in one level. I mean, too many springs in one level? No thanks. Alright, here we are at level 3 of the city level, and this level is actually based off also from Coral Ripper. That level is actually based on level 30, which was Run Siler Bean Run, because as you can see there are magnified glasses. Yes, these things are back. I think it's been a while since we actually saw these objects since I'm pretty sure it was on, during some time, and, oh, frick, what was on? Oh yeah, Sizzling Desert, so it has been a long time since we actually see these objects since then. So, at least we can actually just avoid these things again. So I'm hoping I won't actually die from that part, and especially noticeable in this last section. Whew. But at least this was quite easy though. So, at least no problems with that level though, unlike certain level I know from the, you know, the last haunted house level I just trying to flipping think of. Alright, here we go, on to level 4, and this was actually based on also from Core Ripper, technically speaking. That, this was actually based off of, Lockjam from Toyland, which was, I think it was level 34, if I remember rightly, or probably level 35, if depends on if I was, actually remember this rightly. I think the only difference is between this version of this level than the ones in the original level from the original Core Ripper game is the fact that there's no magnifying glasses, a magnifying glass to actually dodge, but except we actually have some spread out platforms to deal with here, although I may be wrong about that, but there's no green crystal to actually grab from that part, so... Oh god, I forgot about that part. The goal was actually just to be at the different spot this time, so... I almost kept on thinking that in the first Core Ripper game that I have to go straight down, but apparently it's not, because it's now added in the side of the goal portal. So I guess that was a bad situation I just did there. So, and yeah, you can take a shortcut if you wanted to, just onto the straight line, but you won't recommend doing that, especially if you're trying to although you can do that because it automatically takes you to there, but at the same time, since after all there's no green crystals in sight in these types of levels like this, for instance. So yeah, let's see how this goes, eh? So oh shoot, I'm in the is this the level that I did show off? It might look like that if I was going to see what although this is kind of awkward choice, or the awkward confusing choice, but actually, I think I actually somehow seen this level, so I somehow accidentally just proceed to the next level, so yeah, this is a kind of a doubtful about it, so yeah, because as you can see, the Stone Temple part has already been collected, so yeah, I think this is the level I've already shown you guys for that, so whoopsies. Sorry about that, guys, it's just basically, I just no idea, and then plus I wasn't paying attention after all. But at least we actually did show that level off on during the previous episode ago, so, hey. Alright, on to level 6 of the city level, and this was actually based off the Cannon Blast level from the, much like any other levels, some of these levels in general, on the original Core Ripper game. I did fling off, whatever. But, the only differences being is that, obviously, I think the only differences I can think of is that, we have a Stone Temple part, but again, you don't have to grab it as much as you can do. But, at least it's pretty much identical to, the ones in, the Cannon Boom level, as far as I'm concerned of, where they actually first introduction to the cannon mechanics on, during the first game, on, for that part right there, so... And I believe this is the last part where basically we need to actually just get onto this ring right there, because yes, the ring actually trying to help you just to stick up with the cannon itself, and there we go, we actually got ourselves a silver trophy, so that's pretty cool. And now we move on to level 7, where things start to get a bit more cannon heavy, so I'm pretty sure this is the level that was pretty much exactly the same as it does it for we've actually been to, but well, just more cannon blasting, so I'm pretty sure that's what I can think of. So yeah, have some fun for that part, so yeah. As far as the crystalling episode I was going to mention, that it was really awesome, so I think I might actually give it like a 9.5 out of 10, so definitely still awesome even to this day, so especially consists of they're trying to add something new to the table, so at least I'm glad they actually did add something new, although usually it did add something new in the past few years ago, so this is at least the show was still going strong. So yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about from when I'm trying to explore the haunted house world. So anyways, alright, 3 more levels to go, so we're pretty much almost done with the game. So yeah, we gotta sell some fan blades we can actually just come across, and basically they're trying to blow you even much more harder than that, so we have to grab the orange crystal quite carefully. So yeah, that's all we can do in that level. So let's grab a checkpoint. And oh darn it, I totally forgot about that, honestly. So let's go ahead and oh darn it again, or whatever. Let's try and go ahead and do the successful attempt. There we go. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Nice, man. I forgot that how the bumper was actually there. Oh what? Oh, I missed the crystal in those fan blades. I think the reason being is that they're really dang foggy, especially when you actually do like this position right there. Okay, come on. God darn it. But at least I grabbed all the orange crystals, so come on. I just want to get this game done. Even then that I had an enjoyable time with this game so far, despite some trial and error annoyances are involved in there. But sometimes it always happens in some of these playthroughs for the time. So yeah, there we go. Only 2 more levels to go until we're actually done with the actual game itself, and also the city world as well. So level 9. Oh boy, I wonder what this level is going to be involved in this. We have ourselves these platforms to take care of, so basically I think we're just walking around some circular parts for the most part, so basically that's all we can do in these levels right here. So I think I do need to actually just go ahead and say right now, I think I need to backtrack to actually just press the A button, because even then, it might actually give you some faster processing to do here, but at the same time, it might actually waste your countdown. So, again, that's the only thing I must think of. So, anyway, so let's go ahead and drop down from here, and then do some more whacking those little fences right there. And sure enough, we can complete this world in June time. So, I'm assuming that what that was been going for anyway. So. Yeah. Alright, now we got all 8 of these orange crystals, so now we can end the level off. So, I'm assuming that, whoa, that was close. And, just like in some of these levels like this, now we immediately drop down on the goal itself. So that's convenient, and I got a silver trophy, so thank you very much. Alright, the last level we're going to be doing in the playthrough, and also the last level we're going to be doing in the city level, and that was actually the best for last, is that we're going to be doing this at the speed of sound. Woohoo! And we're going to do it again. Woohoo! And another. And there we go. We actually done it. So, hooray for that. And a good way to actually get ourselves a platinum trophy at the end. So if you do this like a quicker amount of time, then you can get yourselves a platinum trophy. So that's pretty awesome reward. But unfortunately, I didn't get all the platinum trophies pretty much in my own time. So, anyways, that concludes the playthrough of Marbles Balance Challenge, and I hope you guys do enjoy this playthrough. I'm sure some people may actually do. So, we've basically done, although not exactly 100% completion of the game, but at least a normal difficulty of the game. So, yeah, I hope you guys do actually enjoy this playthrough pretty much. So, yeah. And I expect that I actually had an enjoyable time too. So, yeah, this is me, Duffy, from the Moxie Toys, and I will see you guys for some more of Banjo-Kazooie at the time. And also that me and Twilight Sparkle are still going to be continuing Banjo-Kazooie at any time, at any point or another. So, I thought it was worth mentioning it from that. And I'll see you guys even for a new playthrough for sometime in next month. So yeah, see you guys then. Bye.